Hey, hey, hey. I think we're on. Hey there. How is everybody out in the world? I'll tell you, TikTok is a fascinating thing. And I heard that someone has bought it. So, and I'm not trying to, I don't even know where I got this shirt, okay? I just like it because it says hope. So I'm not trying to give anybody any whatever that advertising is or whatever. Nobody pays me. I get paid nothing for doing my activities. Hopefully that's going to change soon. 8.8 magnitude earthquake. Poleshift. Very simple. I've been putting out tweets on Poleshift Alert X showing how long ago I've been saying that people are fed up. We're tired of it. We can't keep up. You guys took too much. We know that you guys need a new boat and it needs to be 2 feet longer, but we can't even get a boat anymore. We can't even get a house anymore. We can't even afford rent anymore. So I know I appreciate hearing the stories of man. I don't think that any man is better than any other man. I've been hearing from Chinese people who have been saying you Americans are kind of getting screwed over and stuff. You guys have to pay too much of your earnings and stuff to live. And it's really very clear now that we're being taken advantage of. And it's kind of clear why they want to, internalize everything. And the real secret has been, can we admit, for many years, that the rich were the only ones that really got to go abroad. So they'd get to go abroad somewhere for 2 weeks, and then they'd go over here for 2 weeks and go over there for 2 weeks, and they'd kind of come back to America and they'd go, wow, we're kind of like a, scrambled egg society. We kind of really do a lot of crazy stuff as far as our citizenry. And we talk about how a lot of other countries are full of misinformation towards their citizenry and they're bad guys and they're bad guys and they're bad guys. But when I leave and I go over there and I go over there and I come back here and I kind of realize, wow, we really are putting our citizenry, the people of the United States through it. You guys have stretched us thin, to say the least. We can't even get jobs, and the jobs we can get aren't worth having. Whenever they mention these jobs report, Trump just fired a guy or some girl. And obviously these woke individuals who are doing things for political purposes have to be fired, because we don't want somebody making President Trump look bad and leaving interest rates high because they are doing it for a politically motivated purpose to screw over Americans and keep robbing money from us, because that's what inflation is. It's just a robbery. You don't think that... I'm a singer in a band. I know all singers in all bands. Ozzy gave me a $1 bill, signed it. I got thirsty in Las Vegas and I spent it on a Coke. Sorry, Ozzy. I was thirsty. I guess if I would have had him sign a higher dollar bill, I probably wouldn't have spent it so quickly. Anyway, so somebody else pointed it out. It's on Poleshift Alert X as well. Why do all these rich guys need so much money? They don't seem to be offering to help homeless people out. All of the people that are supposedly getting taken out of America are working all over jobs all over where I live. They don't seem like they're at all afraid of being taken out of the United States. But yet I haven't worked in 6 months. I'm not eligible for unemployment or any kind of assistance. Still waiting on any kind of stimulus check. For all you people out there that heard we got stimulus checks, I never got one. Born in America. Born right down the road from here. I never met a harder worker than me. So, the rich white American man, or excuse me, not the rich white American man, the poor white American man and the middle class white American man with no kids, everything's our fault. We did it to you. Yeah, we're the ones. The guys that got up and worked 60 hours a week and gave you all of our money and don't have nothing. Yeah, everything's our fault. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I keep hearing it on TV. Apparently, something white something I have some kind of privilege or something. None of that's all bull. Okay. Now, according to what's going around the internet, we're supposed to be making $66 an hour. And if you think back in your life, it doesn't matter how old you are. We have statistics that we've kept from the 60s, 50s, 40s of what housing cost, of what a gallon of gas cost, of what food cost, eggs, milk, and such. And there's no way that this scale leads to opportunity for you or me. There's no way. There's no way a homeless guy's getting off the street. Nevertheless, will you hire him? The other day, somebody called me. They had a job. They wanted to build steel buildings. I said, cool. I've been doing that stuff my whole life. I told them how much I want per hour. Never heard back. So you really don't want guys. You want guys that you can pay a little bit of money because they're subsidized by the government. The government's paying most of their wages through these all these fun things they're giving them that we're not allowed to have. So some say this replacement theory isn't true, or that class warfare isn't true. I'd be more afraid to be a homeless person in America right now than a Latino any day. So we'll see what Trump's going to do about that problem that he created. I'm not quite sure why he stepped in that. Kind of weird thing to do. 8.8 tsunami, Russian earthquake. You know, I knew something was going to pop off. I put tweets up on Poleshift Alert from 2019 where I said the Ring of Fire has been busting. And the only portion that has not busted is this Alaskan Russian section up here. The tsunami down there, the Indonesian tsunami broke that portion of that plate, and then the Japanese tsunami broke that portion, and that Peru earthquake down there. Really, that Ring of Fire plate is really getting busted up by earthquakes. And it's only a matter of time before that tsunami is coming for California. Now, I'm going to explain this to you guys in a way that you guys can understand, because everybody's not going to believe everything I say. And rightfully so, although I'm highly researched, and everybody leaks to me. Everybody leaks to me. Okay? So, if you want to know who leaks, everybody leaks to me. What famous people do I talk to? What famous people don't I talk to? Okay. So we had an 8.8 Russian earthquake. That's just the start. Okay. You can see now people are going to the coastline of Oregon, seeing that the ocean is missing. The coastline was missing in England the other day. You're seeing water fissures popping up out in the middle of Saudi Arabia, water just coming out of nowhere. I'm going to read something to you. I have to kind of look down, okay? So I apologize. Earth just jerked. That's full stop. Okay, there's nothing after that. Earth just jerked on January 11th. We have moved over 1,000 kilometers as far as our North Pole. Now, I don't know how to transfer kilometers to miles per or to miles because I don't care. Okay. So that's how far it's moved, and it's a lot. Okay. Now it's being yanked. We are being yanked. Now listen to this comment. July 20th. They're saying that on Earth jerked on January 11th, and on July 20th, Earth's rotation went off balance. On July 4th, the stars moved, and Earth's axis moved. So they're saying that our axis and our rotation moved. Now, that's one scientist. January 11th, they're saying the Earth jerked. Another source said to me that on January 16th, it made a hook, jerk. Two different sources, 5-day span, two leakers telling me that on January 11th or January 16th, or in that span in between January 11th and January 16th, 2025, that Earth's rotation went off balance. On July 4th, the stars moved. Now, they write about that stuff in the Bible. Now, I read another report that the magnetic pole shift occurred in 2024. Now, when in 2024? These guys aren't telling us nothing. They would tell you that pigs could fly. They told you the other day that somebody was white when they weren't. I mean, these guys are they're just saying anything, they're messing with you, okay? Now, Earth's rotation changed and then made a hook, and its rotation and tilt changed from June 26th, 2024 to January 16th, 2025. So Earth's rotation and tilt changed between June 26th and January 16th. Meaning that our rotation and our tilt is already off. Meaning that if you're getting strange weather, that's because you're getting somebody else's weather. The Earth has tilted and our rotation has changed. It's the reason they announced the world's shortest day. They're saying the Earth has quickened or something to that effect. The only thing that is quickened is the amount of their lies. Oh, phew. I wish I had a drum roll. I'd throw it in there. So the Bible says it's stationary. Well, the Bible says a lot of things, my friend, and everything that the Bible says isn't said to be exactly the way that you interpreted it. There's a lot of things in the Bible that weren't interpreted by you. Or you Moses. Now, when did it all start? When did the plot start? And what was the plot? And what was it called? It was called Turtle Island. Yeah, I know, stupid. The United States was known as Turtle Island before it was known as the United States of America. Turtle Island. Ridiculous. Now, there were 7 cities of gold, oddly enough, that ran right either where or beside the Grand Canyon. El Dorado, Cibola, there was so much gold, they could literally build cities out of it. And they did, 7 of them. And Cortez came to find these cities. In 1515 is when it all began. In Wagner Dynasty Castle in Bavaria, Germany, they created the New World Order and America. You never ever heard that ever. In 1515, in Wagner Dynasty Castle in Bavaria, Germany, they created the New World Order in America. One of the resets, according to my findings, is in 1888. Now, this ice wall and all of the stuff that they're talking about behind it, 49,728 miles long. And Tartaria used to take over a large portion of the world. And they got wiped out by several groups on Earth with the help of the alien race. So when everybody says, well, we're worried about extraterrestrial attack, how do you think they wiped out Tartaria? We got attacked by extraterrestrials. It already happened. Ridiculous to think that we're going to be the first one to ever see an ET. Civilizations already got wiped out by them. Just in case you was wondering. Now, the Great Pyramids were not built by the Egyptians. So ridiculous. They don't build nothing now. They still ride around on camels, but they built those. Why don't you show us and build us another one? Just show us one. Build us one. We just want to check it out. All right? You mind? Can we just like watch? Just for, I mean, we'll even pay. You know, we want to see it. You guys didn't build nothing, man. Stop talking trash. Then they're hiding stuff all over the planet. They're not even telling us about stuff. They're not telling us about stuff because every time this thing comes around, it wipes out the planet. And let me tell you why they don't tell us, and then they don't tell you on the front and the back. Because there's money to be made off of everything. And this is what has ruined, quite honestly, the earth. Now, everybody knows that they wiped Tartaria off the map because it didn't charge for energy. No extraterrestrial craft uses any sort of fuel. None whatsoever. They don't use fuel. They gather it. So they don't do things stupid the way we do. Don't believe that oil is from dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, I don't even think existed. They're saying that dinosaurs don't even exist, never existed. That they were speaking of dragons and just other creatures that were out there roaming around that came into existence and non-existence pretty quickly because of hunting and gathering from whatever was out there that dominated them. The reality of it is a lot of this stuff that we're being told is absolute lies. The Dark Ages is just a time that they erased from the map because they don't want us to know when the last time the last Poleshift was. If you can confuse people, control them, charge them for everything, they're constantly running in circles. They're not going to be looking out for the future if they can't figure out how to pay for tomorrow. You know, everybody wonders, well, What if it really is a pole shift? What do I need to do? Well, you need to have 3 years of food and stuff stocked up. How are you going to do that? I mean, very few people are in a position to go out and buy that kind of goods and stock up. And nevertheless, then you've got to ask yourself, if you're seeing all of these videos in the sky of two orbs, why is no one talking about it? You see TikTok talking about it. You see it a little bit on X. You see it a little bit less on Facebook. And you got to ask yourself, and I know some people are going to say, well, it's a sun simulator. I'm going to explain to you why they're not sun simulators and why they are. Earth has two suns. That is the revelation. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter. The rapture is a pole shift of Earth caused by our binary star. Each time it comes around, it causes us to flip and flop and change seas, change basins. And you can know that you're in a former ocean basin if you're standing on sand. Sand is the bottom of ancient oceans. You go to the lake, it's not sand. You go to the ocean, it's sand. You reach in, it's sand. So where'd the ocean go? Each time the pole shift, oceans move. And they move quickly. And so people would say, oh, that's a worldwide flood. No, it's not a worldwide flood. It's a regional flood in a bunch of different places. And a bunch of chaos and a bunch of volcanoes go off and earth cracks and 8.8 start going off and things start appearing in the sky that aren't supposed to appear in the sky, and governments start lying to you and overcharging you for everything and robbing you and calling it inflation. Okay? So the reason everything is going this way is because we're getting ready to come to one of these. And at some point, you're going to have to stop, or you can let them convince you to keep walking. I've walked up as far up this lie as I can choke myself to walk. I can't walk any further up your lie. I can't walk any further up your American dream, only to fall over the side like a sheep, following the one that didn't know any better. Climb for what? Climbing for crumbs? Climbing to get all my info stolen? Climbing to get all my intellectual property jacked? For what? All of these people that are telling you their stories on here are not unhinged drug addicts, thank you. They're good people who got priced out by somebody that wanted too much. I told you guys a while ago I'm a singer in a band, and why I told you that was only for one reason. Because I know everyone in that arena. Now, what if I was a dentist? I would know a bunch of dentists. What if I was a doctor? I'd know a bunch of doctors. What if I was a lawyer? I'd know a bunch of lawyers. What if I was a politician? I'd know a bunch of politicians. What if I was a golfer? I'd know a bunch of golfers. You get my point. These guys all know each other. So if a bunch of rich guys in the Illuminati or the Masons are bankers, and they're also all buddies, they know how much you got in the bank, and 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 you got in the bank. And they also have all the satellite info, all the readouts, all the printouts, all the projections of what's going to happen after the pole shift, where the safe place to be, where the safe place isn't. They get up-to-date information. You're getting no information. They're getting prepped. They're really saying, that's so wild. Never in my life would I have believed that $21 trillion of American money would be taken and nothing was going to be done. And that, in fact, was going to be hidden. And, in fact, we were going to be treated like what we're being treated like. It's stunning. Maybe we ought to go back to being Turtle Island. Pretty disappointed, I'll tell you. Number one, well, I sure don't feel like it. I literally got guys I blew up contacting other people, having them come on and talking to them and talking to them and talking to them. Who's whispering in their ear? Who's telling them all the cool things? I know more about this Poleshift than you'll ever know. I've got ideas that would save you and you and you, but you'd rather sit around and wait for me to spew something out and just grab it and take it than hand me a dime, because you don't like dealing with poor people. The reason we're poor is because of you. You know exactly how much we have in our bank account, and you guys all sat around and said, pull the trigger, inflation's here, I want some of their money. That's all that's going on. It ain't inflation, it's a robbery. You don't think they know how much money you got in the bank? Every time you hear about a guy getting a divorce, a rich famous guy, you know what they're doing? They're doing a stock cash out. You want me to explain to you the Ponzi? Rich guy says to his wife, we need some walking around money. Let's get a divorce. She goes, oh no, honey, I'd never want to divorce a great guy like you, tee-hee. They know that they're going to split the money 50-50. But he doesn't have that kind of cash laying around. So in order for them to get some money out of their corporation without you guys figuring out they're cashing out before the Poleshift, they get a divorce, and the judge forces him to do a stock sell-off and sell 50% of the stock from the company to give to her. And then they meet in an alley, and she gives him 50 and she takes 50, and off they go. They just cashed out. Where'd all that money come from? Kiev. Your pocket. Everything's a scam. NSF fee. What rich person has ever paid one of those? That is literally a tax for being poor. Now, I was telling you why would they go after the homeless? Well, think about it. Because all their possessions are on them. There's money to be made from anything. Anybody that's ever had anything impounded knows what kind of drama that is to get your stuff back. You've got to have insurance. You've got to have registration. You've got to have all your paperwork. You've got to have your driver's license. You've got to have all your everything. All your ducks got to be in a row before you take that vehicle out of there. And then when you get in there, you find out the battery's dead. It don't work. The tires are flat. You could be in for a couple weeks of trouble if you're not careful, if you're trying to get your stuff out of the impound. Every day that it stays there, they make it more and more impossible to get. All your stuff's in that vehicle. When they take you away, all your stuff's in that vehicle. So it's basically they're just grabbing everybody's stuff and taking you away because you couldn't afford rent in their property. Well, the guys they said they were throwing out are still working right on the street corner, right where the cops are driving by. What is going on in my country? Don't need us anymore? We're of no use anymore? We can be of no help? It's interesting. Don't all you people out there who barely got any food in your tummy find that interesting? That inflation is just there when all of these things are on the internet, and the timing of it all, it almost seems like somebody's just leaving nothing behind. Doesn't it? But they got it for them, but not for, or for them. You don't got nothing for them, but you got it for them. It almost sounds to me like a quid pro quo between USA and Amazon against maybe Ford, other companies. You need guys. You don't want to pay them. So you let the United States government pay for most of their money, and then you just hand them a little. When we're supposed to be getting $66 an hour. But you decided you needed all the money. Not just some. All the money. All your money, all the profit, all the sales, everything, and our money too. Wow. What must you need? I mean, maybe we should be handing out money to the rich. They say to hand out money to the poor. I'm more inclined to hand my money to a rich guy when he goes by. They really need that money. Whew. Boy. Have you guys seen the list of all the people that dropped dead this year? All the billionaire CEOs? The list is right there on my page. Boy, a lot of people fell ill permanently last year. Gee, a lot of that going on. Remember that guy that shot at the president? I never heard none about that guy ever again. Oh, what guy? Who are you talking about? What, somebody shot the president? When? What was you talking about? Huh? Everything's a distraction. Think about it. If people are based on a monthly cycle, bills, life, everything is in this cycle. Those bills are coming next month, regardless whether you want to pay them or not. Everything comes in this 1 month cycle. So they've learned how to use this cycle to create this us chasing our tail. Picture the little gerbil on the wheel. That's you chasing your goddamn tail. They know they got you chasing your tail that you can never catch now. They already know that they went way too far. They went way too far in the late 80s. If they would have stopped right in there and just said, okay, we're going to kind of keep things in there, they'd have been fine. But now we see guys that went places to nice little, resort places that nothing's going to happen to them, but now the homeless are criminals. Say what again? So all those people, they cool, but those people are a problem. So we have two justice systems. So all I got to do is just get in Congress and I can just do whatever I want. What is real? What is fake? Now, we talked about sun simulators. Everybody's saying, oh, the earth is flat. Oh, the earth is hollow. Oh, it's a sun simulator. Magnetism has nothing to do with any of those things. The earth is going to change and have a pole shift regardless of what shape it is. Why do I believe that the earth is round? Because the sun is round and the moon is round. I'm assuming that the earth is the same. Okay, the end. Now, the bottom line is that we are dealing with objects that are going to cause us to change to a new location, a new North Pole. And it could take a little while. It could happen anytime. Now, the people in Indonesia, this happened from this cycle. The people in Japan, this happened from this pole shift. This Russia thing happened from this pole shift. The stuff going on in Yellowstone is happening because of the pole shift. The rip in Africa is because of the pole shift. The rip in Idaho is because of pole shift. All of the stuff that's going on, all the lies, all the deception, all the theft, all the stealing, all the nonsense, all the monthly distractions are all to stop you from realizing that we are having a cataclysmic pole shift. The Earth's rotation has already stopped. The seas have already started rotating. The currents have already started going backwards. A lot of bad things are going to come your way. Now, I've been ruined over this. These guys just, the way they've treated me is just, wow. How terrible of you people to treat me the way that you have. Just disgusting behavior to treat a man this way. You know, we believed that when we were raised in America, that we were this great beacon of hope, that we were this great nation, that we were going to be first, that you could not be stopped, that if you willed yourself into being, that you would be whatever you wanted to be. Lies. It's a friggin' fairy tale. You can put that one right up there with Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, American Dream. It's another fairy tale. It's the hope fairy tale to keep you running. Like some kid said, so you mean to tell me that this is the con? That you want me to run my ass off for 65 years off in hopes that I'll get to relax for a couple years at the end of my life? I never saw my parents have that. I never seen, very few people have that. My parents, my dad does okay. My mother, not nearly as well. They're the last good generation. Nobody's doing this. No kid's going and buying no $1 million house when in 15 years from now. The American dream is not, you guys will, you barely will give anybody more than $20 an hour. It's crazy. And they say that they've been taking about 140 a day of your wages since the 80s. And they've probably been doing it to build these bunkers for them, for not you. And meanwhile, we've got, things showing up in the sky, and we've got all of these, bodies up there. And some people are like, oh, that's a sun simulator. It might be. You might be seeing a sun simulator if you've seen two suns. Why would they have a sun simulator in the sky? Well, they would test it because they would be using it for after the pole shift. well, I'm going to use my two fingers to try to explain this. We live in a binary star system. I don't understand why this is a secret, but I do, for the fact that each time that it comes around, it wipes out humanity. Every version of humanity gets wiped out by this binary star every time it comes by. Every time it comes by, it's over. And it's here. You can clearly see all over the internet that it's here. You won't see it on the news, though, will you? But anyway, so it works is like this. Here is our sun. When this thing is coming this way, it pulls us, the sun, further out. And then it starts to come back as it goes back out, creating a solar maximum and a solar minimum. Sometimes when this occurs, it creates the Earth to go into a icy Earth, or a, what do you want to call that? Where, a snowball Earth. Well, everybody's got these sun simulators because we're not going to light up China. We don't care if they're under ice. We're going to light up the United States. So we have our own sun simulators, and after the Poleshift, it'll look like there's 10 suns in the sky, because it will be sun simulators that are capturing energy from our sun and beaming it down onto Earth, much like these DEWs, to keep our planet warm. Hopefully not that warm. But they will be using these things, these sun simulators, to keep Earth going. Not for you, for them. Those bunkers are for them. Let me explain to you how it works. See, you guys don't get it. See, because you're not paying attention. You're too worried about who's on a list. And that's what they want you doing, is worried about who's on a list, or having people at colleges go crazy, or having people yell about Ukraine or Gaza or whatever. Doesn't matter. Just don't be thinking about what you're supposed to be thinking about. The fact that we're all hiding from you a cataclysmic event that's on your doorstep. Think about anything. Hate each other, make each other mad. We want all of that. We want you just doing the devil. We would tell you whatever to just keep you the fur flying. So there you guys are. Wow. I mean, if you were mice in a cage, I would say there's no way I would have believed that I could have gotten human beings to go along with the idiocy that we plotted and put forth. But man, you guys it's the craziest. I am really disappointed in humanity. The level of our intelligence, the fact that we don't understand that we're being baited. You don't see that group and that group are the same group. They're going to dinner together. They go to ball games together. They call them names. They call each other names. They call each other and they say, "You hear the stuff I called you?" And they said, "Yeah, wait till you hear the stuff I called you." And they laugh and they take all of our money and they shove it in their pockets, and they pay for their everything with these Smurf phones. No, you guys haven't heard about that. Oh, no? Oh, let me be the first to tell you about the Smurfs. Everybody's got the Smurf phone. Everybody but you. How do you get a bunch of people to allow millions of unvetted illegals into your country? You give them burner phones. Lots of them. Cases full of them. With $10,000 each on them. There you go. Hey man, what's up? Have a Smurf phone. Sure, that's everything you need. You want to go to Paraguay? Just use your Smurf phone. It's the same thing we're handing out at the border. You can't have one. You can't have one. You can't have one. It's Smurf phone. Who's got a Smurf phone with 10 grand on it? Free 10 grand for you. Just don't do nothing there with that Smurf. Don't tell anybody you got a Smurf phone. Where's my box of Smurf phones with 10K on each one of them that I can hand around to my people? I could go hand those out in the hood. Every one of those homeless people would love a Smurf phone, wouldn't they? Why don't you just go hand them each a Smurf phone? There you go. There's your little 10 grand telephone, just like the one that they gave the guys coming across the border. Where's our Smurf phones? You never even heard of none of that. But they want to take all your stuff and take you away because you couldn't afford to pay. Well, they're getting everything free with Smurf phones. So, I hear it's raining in New York City. You know, some girl, she says she hangs out with God. I'm just kidding. She doesn't say any of that. She says she's a prophet. She gets readings from God. She's been very legit about things. She said that water would be coming up out of the New York subways, like in the movie The Day Before Tomorrow. And it would be coming up and gushing out, and that people would be walking on stuff trying to stay unwet. She predicted this. And she said that flooding was coming to South and North Dakota, which I did not think that was going to happen, but there's been flash flood warnings in South Dakota. We got like 3.5 inches of rain last night, just out of the blue. And some of these places that have flooded recently do not have, they're not on that map. They're not on that map of places that are supposed to be flooding and stuff. But no, the Day After Tomorrow script is very relevant in the fact that birds and animals are acting funky and strange. Now, some of the shit's AI, and you have to always try to check things out. But when you find out that a new hole has occurred in Yellowstone, just even if it's a vent and there's other videos of a guy who's got bubbling occurring on his land, and there's something, a bottle of water and it's falling over on it. Now, I've seen enough of these videos. I've seen enough of the guy's videos in Idaho. I've seen enough of the videos from the Yellowstone area to ascertain that the bubble that broke, the hole that broke, is probably what created some of the animals getting scared away. Imagine if you were baking a pie and you were standing on top of that pie and a big bubble blew out of it. You'd be like, wow, you'd be kind of a little alarmed. So, I don't know that Yellowstone's going to blow, especially because that one blew after the 8.8 in Russia. But I'm glad that you brought up, should we be following the Day After Tomorrow script? I'm going to say, let's go. I live in South Dakota right now as well. And let me tell you one thing right now. I live right down the road from you in Lake Preston. Let me tell you this one thing right now about the problem that we face with especially Yellowstone. And I don't know that Yellowstone's going to go off. Let me explain this to you. And this is what I can say and I believe. And I'm not certain of it. So this is hyperbole. I'm guessing here. I believe that all these volcanoes are somehow interconnected, and the more volcanoes that go off elsewhere, the less chance of Yellowstone going off. If Yellowstone goes off, we're going to have some big problems. Our biggest problem is going to be hot ash. So we have to have gas masks, and I believe that South Dakota, you need to have children's life vests. You need to have life vests in the car. They're saying, the lady said, and her posts are on Poleshift Alert X, she says that it could flood in South Dakota to the microwave. What? Wow. And if it's flooding to the microwave, well, that's going to be a pretty big flood. So we know that South Dakota has flooded before. We know that this is occurring. And I didn't really write it down, and I should have. But because of the changed, the earth is undergoing such strange changes, you're going to get weird weather. There's going to be a lot of rain. Now, we're part of our mirroring, the way that our sunlight gets mirrored back out is being taken away by this magnetic anomaly from one of these planets that's incoming from our binary star system. Its outermost planet, Nibiru, is huge, way bigger than Jupiter. It's got an iron nickel core, and it's this outermost planet of this star system that causes all the trouble for Earth. Now, a lot of people go, well, we'll just go live on Nibiru. No, you will not go live on Nibiru. You cannot live on Nibiru. It's got such gravitational pull that when you land there, you just go like this. Whoa, and you're done. You're not going to live. There's no one coming to rescue us. Nope, they don't even like us. You know why? Why should they like us? The rich don't even like us. Right? Maybe they don't like the rich. Last I checked, we're not trying to do anything to anyone. Somebody's trying to do a bunch of stuff to us. That's just my take. All I can tell you is this. Where does this all end up? One report of one Poleshift, and there's been many. I know of 7. You'd like to know about them? You want to see the receipts? All right, then, whatever. The first civilization was the Atlantis and Hyperborea civilization at the North Pole. Atlantis was once at the North Pole. Göbekli Tepe was the second civilization. The Indus Valley civilization was third. The Lemuria and Sundaland civilization was fourth. The Peru and Bolivia civilization was fifth. The Sumerians and the Assyrians were sixth. And the Egyptians, all the way up to us, is the new one. Now, several of the last civilizations were really, they were with it. So a lot of the civilizations were not with it, but the last 2, other than us, the previous one before us was probably smarter than us. But all of their technology we used but hid because they wanted to charge you. So the next civilization, I'm assuming they're going to go back to the 5th element ether. And they're going to probably not charge human beings for stuff that clearly we're being arrested for not being able to afford now. Well, the guys who went places they shouldn't have and did stuff with people they shouldn't have, they're cool. They just go on about your life. Wrong. Nobody agreed to that. Nor do we. Nor will we ever. So if the Latino folks aren't going anywhere, then now all of a sudden you're going to take away American people? That sounds exactly like the replacement theory. What part of it am I missing? So folks, when you see stuff going on and you can't believe your eyes, that's the only thing that you can believe. They told you Santa Claus was real. That was a lie. They told you the Easter Bunny was real. That's a lie. The Tooth Fairy? Lie. College education going to get you somewhere? Lie. The American dream? A lie. Pride in your country? A lie. Now we're being called domestic terrorists. Make America great again as a terrorist organization. How could you even spin that into that? I mean, that's just absolute insanity. How could making your country great again make you a Nazi? That's just insanity that people would not only come up with it, but get people to buy into it. How are you people buying into this? Because you're on a cycle. And they know how to manipulate whatever cycle you're on, whether you're a man or a woman. And if you're a woman, they really spend a lot of time on figuring out how to trigger you every month. It's at some point you guys got to realize we're getting played by some rich guys in a country club. So we'll be mad at our men all day long when we should be mad at those guys in that country club. Your man's working his tail off, honey. There ain't no winning. The only thing they're not doing is this. Give me all your money. That's the only thing they're not doing. They want it all. So they can arrest you. Holy moly. You guys broken me. I'm a broken man. Anybody need a new person to come live in your country? I'm a hardworking guy. Just don't lie to me, man. I don't care what I'm doing, man. You just tell me what you need me to do. I mean, I know a bunch of guys here in America. We're ready to come over there. Ain't nobody unhinged. The only people that are unhinged are the ones that think that we need to be taken away. Not the guys they let in for free for a bunch of smartphones. Listen, United States government is a bunch of smartphones. Aren't you guys? All bought and paid for. They all got so much money, you got none. Hey there, I had to drag a piece into place. Wish I had to drag some money out of my account every now and then. They won't even let me do any of that stuff where you can make money to be on your live. What time frame do you think we will see everything fall apart? I never thought I'd see the day where our politicians started acting like people from the Jerry Springer show. So I think soon. I mean, have you ever seen anything so crazy? They are acting like they're insane. It's got to be pretty soon. And I think that a lot of us are starting to see that even some of them don't even look like the person they're saying they are and stuff. And we're like, who the hell is... Yeah, I think it could be this year too. But here's what, let me say some good things. Because I say a lot of bad stuff on here, and I hate being this person I don't want to even do Poleshift alert. I'm only doing it because I want people to understand. And I'm saying this to you straight faced. If you don't have a gas mask, you're going to die. If you don't have a gas mask, you're going to die. The end. The stuff that's coming out of Yellowstone is hot ash. That turns into mud. Okay? It gets hit with atmospheric particles, and when it lands, it turns into mud. You breathe this in, and you're done. If you do not have a gas mask and a way to shelter yourself from this ash, you're finished. And I would want some life vests in my car or with little Susie and little Bobby at all times. If he's taking stuff to camp, there's a life vest. We're not going to the lake. What if the lake comes to you? The end. I mean, have the stuff. You know, I put 400 stuff in, 400 products in my shops. I've got an Amazon shop. And I've got a TikTok shop. I've got 400 survival products in there for those of you that can do it. And, you know, not a lot of people buy products from me. I don't care where you get them from. Get them anywhere. Get them, though. You know, I mean, the reason why I have a shop is not so I can monetize and make money. I never really tried to make money off of this, or really my band either. I'm trying to tell the world, hopefully, what they would tell me. Beware, something bad's coming, man. It ain't no 8.8. An 8.8 is the start. It's the start. More is coming. Bad things are coming. More bad things are coming. That's the start. Indonesia was the start. Japan was the start. There's a lot of bad things that are going to occur. Hurricanes that will wipe out entire states. Tornadoes that will take out entire cities. A lot of bad weather is coming because the atmosphere and the globe has shifted from, again, I'm going to say it, Earth jerked on January 11th. These guys are saying on January 16th, it made a hook. So they're saying between 5 days apart, two different sources are saying that Earth changed rotation and balance. Rotation and tilt. This guy says on January 11th, Earth's rotation went off balance. This guy says on January 16th, Earth's rotation changed, made a hook, and the rotation and the tilt changed. They're only 6 days apart. January 11th, January 16th. Two different sources. Leakers with beakers. Okay? I don't have beakers. But the Poleshift is imminent. It's happening now. Anything could pop off anywhere. No one will listen to you. You don't have to worry about them, because let me explain to you why they won't listen. If you told somebody that American dream that you built for yourself and that you were actually able to achieve, because not everybody failed. Let's be honest. You see houses on every corner and you go, how's that guy doing it? How's that guy doing it? How's that guy doing it? And I can't do it. I don't know. Some people are out there doing it. I don't know how they're doing it, but they are doing it. Some people do not want to believe that the life that they've built for themselves is about to be wiped out by a cataclysm. The government is banking on them believing that their narrative is true, which is that life is going to go on forever, keep on running, keep on trucking, and keep on putting money in my bank account, tee-hee-hee. So, I mean, here's one thing I can tell you that I know as an inventor. I've suggested 6 things to big business. They all got stolen. Not one dime has been given to me. And I'm hoping that the last idea of mine that got taken, I'm not going to mention it, but I'm hoping that I get paid for that, or I'm going to be mad. I cannot give away ideas when I don't even have work. You guys have given away our work to somebody else because you're subsidizing them, because you've already made a deal with all of these companies, like I mentioned earlier, Amazon and road construction companies and all of these. They don't want to pay $60 an hour. They want to keep all the money. So they don't even want to pay their employees. So if they can get the government to pay the bulk of their money, then they'll pay like half and they'll pay half. So they'll make like $35 an hour. But we don't make that. We don't get that other assistance. So you want me to go and work next to that guy knowing that he's getting double income. He's getting treated better than me. You know it and I know it. And we're not supposed to say nothing about it. Nobody's supposed to say nothing about it because that's inappropriate. You can't say anything about anything in America. That's crying. That's whining. You're a bad person. Whatever, man. Somebody's got to start standing up for the little guy. We're not getting Smurf phones for looking the other way. In fact, we got nowhere to run, even if we were trying to look the other way. So, America, you're making me miss Turtle Island. You really are. Bob Seger ain't going to write a song called Who Wants to Go Back to Turtle Island. I hear you. That ain't going to get no love. Born in the Turtle Island, that ain't going to number 1. Nowhere, in no day, in no way. So, I don't think anybody wants to say, yeah, I'm in the Turtle Army Air Force. That's not a good look. Not too scary at all. So yeah, at least we're not Turtle Island anymore. I mean, I guess we're a step up from that, but is America this shining beacon of hope? No, we're of something. Maybe we're a big pile of BS. We're all talk, no walk. Our military's all walk. They got all the money they need. I'm glad. They got no money for us American people, though. No jobs, no hope. Got us all bitching, complaining, tearing each other apart at the seams. All they got to do is mention one this person or one that person or one that. Everybody's, it's a God. And you know who's doing it? That one little group of people that men are laughing at. That little group of little feminist women they got a hold of the air. And boy, I'll tell you, those feminist women, boy, I'll tell you, they are just literally the easiest ones to just, you could say anything to them and they're just enraged for weeks. What a perfect ally for the elite. The angry American purple-haired woman. What a good buddy for you. Woo! How can you guys not see what they're doing to us? That's why we lose every time. That's why ETs won't speak to us. We've got men that are deciding that we're not worth saving. But look at how easy they manipulate us. They've got you enraged at her, enraged at him, enraged at that, enraged at them, mad at them, mad at them, while they're all kicking back laughing, and they all are the ones that done all of this stuff, and they're just pointing at everybody else, and you're just going and tearing them apart like a bulldog, and you have no clue who you're even mad at. You don't know what you're mad at. You don't know what you're for. You don't know what you're against. You're so confused. What happened? Can I give everybody a piece of advice? Read a survival manual. Okay? There's all of them over here on TikTok. I really don't sell that many of them. Read a Bible. Then read another survival book. Read an old ways book, a book about the old ways. What if your lights go out? You guys don't want to be at all prepared? What if something bad happens in your neighborhood? Do you want to be buffaloed? Do you want to be a buffoon? Or do you want to be prepared? The reason I tell people about the things I tell people is because I'm hoping that you guys will snap out of it. You're being played. I have nothing to gain by telling you that. I'm just telling you because it happens to be fact. One guy doesn't deserve everything while everyone else has nothing. America, the beautiful, we were. I'm going to take off. You know, I just want you guys to understand. When the time comes, we have to stand up. They'll take every bit of food out of your fridge, every possession you own. I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump. I love the Trump administration. I think he's a good man and he's going to do the right thing. But there's evil forces at play here, all around. You have to watch out for these people who pretend to be an American friend when they're really a traitor in a three-piece suit. Anybody that ever tells me that China or North Korea or Russia are bad people again, I'll never believe you in a million years. I'm sick and tired of people telling me who my enemy should be and who my friends are. And nobody's done more harm to me than the United States government. Straight up truth. My life has literally been destroyed by my government. I don't have a damn thing because of the government and rich guys that need everything I have. I can't give anything more to the guys coming across the border. I can't buy you guys any more Smurf phones, okay? You literally run me into extinction. I've never met a harder working American man than me, and the fact that you guys have me to this point in my life is such an insult to my intelligence and the insult to the intelligence of Americans that we are literally spitting fire. I don't think they understand that. Here's the problem with liars, guys. They always drink their own Kool-Aid. They always believe their own lies. People that don't lie, you never have to worry about telling somebody the truth because we don't have to worry about what did we say. Because it's just fact as everyone knows it to be. There's no such thing as my truth. There's either the truth or you're a jackass. Poleshift alert. Cranking it out, one podcast at a time. The hell else am I going to do? Be free. Enjoy life.